All right. Good. Like I said, we're going to start on the ground and just have your feet facing one direction or another. If you want to have them facing me, that's totally fine because I can't tell always if they are. So bring your feet out in front, feet are flat, bodies nice and tall, chest is lifted, roll your shoulders up, back, and around. Ideally, I try to do that more because we already have a forward flexion, and so I don't tend to do a lot of forward shoulder rolls. It's up to you if you'd like to add a couple of those in. It does feel nice, but always encouraging that open, broad chest, the subtle shoulder blades, the nice lifted torso coming out of the floor of the pelvis. Take all that flesh out from underneath you, and let's get ready. Go ahead and hold underneath those knees. And we'll just start with some controlled breathing, just kind of lengthen through the crown of the head. You may feel some contraction in the spine, in the muscles that are stabilizing the spine. Maybe a couple clicks in the back. And just find that breath moving through the body. Notice how the breath widens and expands through the rib wall. Two more breaths, nice, long, slow, and deep. Big, deep breath in. Take your hands back out again, and let's roll all the way back into the mat. Lay yourself back. If you have a block or a bolster or a roller near you, go ahead and take the block and just place it underneath your hips, giving yourself that level pelvis. Again, whether you put your hips on a roller or the block, it doesn't particularly make a difference at this point. It's just elevated. And so you're giving yourself that just kind of descending position back towards the heart. And again, we're just going to set for a second and just breathe. Arms can press in. You want to still notice if your shoulders are bowed in, or can you allow your shoulders to settle back, even to the broadening of your chest, pinning your shoulders slightly underneath you. You're not trying to arch your rib cage, but your rib cage will slightly lift here. And just breathe, expand the belly, release some of that tension. Remember, out of your 11th cranial nerve comes that vagus nerve, and it moves through the body. We lift the chest, we lift and open, change the positions of our body, give ourselves more opportunity to connect into the vagus nerve. One more deep breath, inhale. And exhale, extend your right leg all the way out as best you can. Now, again, if you're on a block, you may find that you have to move forward or back, or the block forward or back on the back, on your back. So you don't get any pinching sensation. Take the same arm up and over your head. The pinky side of your hand is towards the sky. And then reach, as long as you feel like there's a string attached in two directions, reach the heel away from the hand away from the heel. Watch for over-shrugging, no pressure, tension in the neck. Other side is relaxed but still engaged. Find that length going the entire right side of the body. Open, you can feel some space. You can even touch underneath your rib cage. There's your liver, your ascending colon. Breathing, transverse colon, breathing. Just feel that length on that side of the body. Exhale, lower your hand down, slide your right leg in, set for a moment. And then again, inhale, extend your left leg, take your left arm overhead. Keep your body from rolling towards that kind of open space there. Again, find the length, working in complete opposition, reaching your left leg away from your left arm. Lengthening. Watch that you're not overarching. Draw that navel in if you need to. If you're not in a tuck, you're really just more neutral. Big deep breath in again. And exhale. And lower the arm, slide the heel into the body. Take your right arm and left arm over your head, palm towards the sky. Let the chin sink towards your sternum and feel the back of your neck elongating. You're not pressing down, you're lengthening. So like if you have a ponytail like mine right here, you're pulling the crown of your head up as you're drawing your chin down. Watch the rib cage that they don't over flare. Breathing, both arms are up. Lengthen. Now, as you can, extend your right leg. This may be a little bit uncomfortable for some of y'all, and then left leg. Now, if that's too much pinching, extension, too much work in the lower back, bend your knees in just a slight bit, pull your heels more towards your hamstrings. If you can take that full extension, reach in those two directions, find that length. Watch that you're not in an arch or trying to over tuck. You're just trying to not let your back arch through the middle of the rib cage. Big deep breath, take a nice long deep opener, and then exhale. Slide one foot in at a time. Slide one arm down at a time. Just settle in it for a second. While we're here with the block underneath us, walk your feet in. Notice my heels come up. So if I can give myself a little more space and tilt the block up. So I just went up one level with the block. If that's not available to you, maybe you have two blocks, maybe you just have one, you can just try to maintain that higher level of lift without trying to have the blocks underneath you. It just makes it more challenging. Taking that right leg out, take the right arm up again overhead, reach in both directions, lengthen, left leg, left arm still stay active, find some space, some length, some reach. This is too much height for you. Bring everything back to center and put the block back down a little bit. And then exhale, bring everything back in again. Extend the left leg out, extend the left arm up overhead. Remember, pinky side of the hands toward the head. Reach into a direction. Feel that opening right through the midline of the body, that gift back to the belly. Exhale, bring everything back in. Pause for a second, just hold. Now, again, we're going to go both legs out. You may need to readjust slightly on your block, especially if it's on a narrow edge. Right leg and left extended. Both arms come up and over the head. Big deep breath. Reach in those two directions. And then slide your feet back in. Pause. Take those arms back down. We're only going to go down one level just to kind of reset the backs nice and slow. Settle there for a breath. And then lift the hips gently and slowly take the back to the ground. And then just give the back a little tuck and a tilt. So you're letting the pelvis kind of regain neutral on the ground. So you're not just feeling like, you're lifted up. As we just opened up through the psoas, extended through the inner thigh, released some through the belly, the abdomen, tuck and tilt the pelvis. Breathing. Good. Bring the knees into the chest. Just hug the knees in and release. Hug the knees in and release. Breathing. Not full release of the legs. Just giving them a little tuck. One more time. Pull the knees into the chest. Hold. Exhale as you can. Your head up towards your knees and back down. Exhale your head up and back down. Two more. Exhale. Curl the torso towards the legs and back down. Once more. Exhale. Curl and back down. Take your arms out wide. Drop your knees to your left and to your right. You're just easily going left and right. Knees are towards your chest. My tailbone is pretty much off the ground. I'm really at the top of my pelvis. Breathing, just kind of allowing my back to release. Take those legs a little bit wider, a little bit wider. Move that block out of the way. See if you can get your legs almost to the ground on each side. Over to your right, over to your left. Breathe. Feel that movement up through the spine, through the midline. Each side, one more time to your right and left as I kind of scooch down and I roll. Hold to one side. Just allow that full rotation now to happen. So my left hip is up, my right side is down. You can feel that wrap rotation around my torso. Take a nice long, slow, deep breath. Breathe. Inhale, both knees come up, gently hold in the center for a moment, and then both legs to the other side. Make sure your lower shoulder doesn't get stuck underneath you. And then your back shoulder, for me, it's my right side, can settle into the ground a little bit easier. Open, even through the palm. Again, take that breath, feel that motion across the midline. Remember, we're affecting change, not just on a twisty level, but a fascial level. We've got fascia that goes all around the inside of our body, within our organs, on our back, and so on. And that superficial fascial layer gets some movement here as well. And then gently, slowly bring those knees up, and then drop your feet one at a time. Breathe and just settle into the mat just for another moment. And now bring your right knee into your chest, hug that right knee and curl so you're pressing against the belly, head to your knees, knees to your chest, and lower back down. Both knees come in one at a time, or both. Exhale as you can, head to your knees, knees to your chest, and lower down, both legs. And let's just do your left leg. Hold that left knee in, and lower your head and your knee down. Extend your left leg, draw your right leg in, just your right leg. Exhale, head to your knee, and lower down. Slide your left foot in, drop your right, extend your right leg out, pull the left knee into the chest, reach in opposition. Exhale, head to your knee. Inhale, lower down, slide your right foot in. I'm going to keep the knee there. Hold that left knee in, extend the right leg to the sky now. Reach the right leg up, hold, breathe in. If you want, bring your head and your chest up, or you can stay down. Bend the right knee, switch legs. I'm just keeping my right knee bent right at my belly. Pull the left knee into my chest and then extend the left leg up. If you want, of course, you can come up. Watch that you don't curl yourself into too much of a ball. And then lower back down. Breathe and take your left foot down. Extend your right foot up. Open your arms out and drop your right leg away from your midline. Breathe, and you can use your right hand underneath your right thigh, just above your right knee, to hold that right leg and allow that drop to happen. Describe one of the most beneficial stretches to those deep adductors of the inner thigh. Breathe and just allowing that way to open. Bend the right knee, bring the right foot back in, bring the left knee in, left foot up, and take the left leg away from the midline. Again, I have my left hand above and just on the outside of my right leg, sorry, my left leg. My right side is not rolling into my left. Breathing. And if I want to just let it hang, I can. Or if I had a strap, I can hold the strap. Bend that left knee into the chest, lower the right leg down. Sorry, left leg down. Extend the left leg out. Bring the right knee into the chest, and let's take that right knee across the midline. So if you can see what we're doing, we're moving through all of the motor or the movement patterns. Flexion, extension, rotation of the individual hip joints from really the midline of the torso, the thoracic spine down. Breathe and drop that shoulder. And then bring that right knee back up. Switch legs. Right leg extends out. Left knee comes in. Take that left knee across the midline of the body. Beautiful stretch into that glute. I think very often we get into those glute stretches, which I love too, because they kind of hurt so good sometimes, but we forget the inner thigh as well. Exhale, feel the weight of the body settle. And then bring that leg back into center. Bring your right foot in. We're going back into that left leg extended. Bring the right knee into the chest. Extend the right leg. Now take the right leg across. Now I'm not extending the right leg to the ground. I'm not dropping it all the way to the floor. I'm just holding it across. My right foot is flexed, and so I'm getting a little bit more stretch in the lower half of my leg, interestingly enough. some on the upper half as well, but you're gonna feel, I want you to drop your big toe towards the ground. So you feel that stretch in your outer ankle of that extended upper leg. Breathing. And then bend the knee back into the chest, slide the left foot in, and let's switch. Notice I'm kind of doing one leg at a time, so I'm not overstretching the lower back. Bring the left knee in, extend the right leg out, find that level, extend the left leg up, and then take the left leg across. Again, don't worry about going to the ground. Push that left heel out. Drop the big toe. Feel that stretch right there at that ankle, at that the lower part of your shin. Breathing. That stretch that we don't get in that ankle because we're so concerned about twisting or rolling. That ankle does so much work for us to keep that level, that movement settled. Giving it some love is so important. And then bend the knee, bring the knee back into the chest. Let's bring both knees in one more time. Hug them, and then let's circle them all the way around. Now we are going to get up and off our back. I just wanted to start on the back of it today and really feel the motion, giving some attention to some stable movement. Let's circle the other direction. Very often when we stand or we have to hold balance at the same time and stretch, it can, what's working more? What are we doing more? Are we trying to balance or are we trying to actually find that individualized movement? Go ahead and pause. And then relax. Good. Drop your right foot and left foot back to the ground. Once again, just pause for a moment. And as you can, as it's comfortable, shift to one side and let's come up into all fours. Good. Go ahead and come into your all fours position. Hands and knees, toes flat. If it's comfortable, if that gives you a cramp ever in your shin, go ahead and put find a bolster or something that you can roll up underneath your ankles. And so you don't get that, but you can train those ankles to get long and those heels to pull in without getting into over cramping that bottom of that foot. Pull the elbows into the body. And then let's begin again with that tilt in the top of the pelvis. So when we can differentiate in movement, nice feeling of just kind of some easy free motion here in the pelvis. We can kind of teach the body again to just kind of notice what's going on in one part while not having to just kind of be distracted by the whole thing. One more time, tuck the tailbone and then lift the tailbone. Curl the toes, and we're going to do the same thing, but think about keeping the upper back more extended. So I want you to keep that torso as lifted as you can as you tuck the pelvis and lift the pelvis. Now, not letting the movement really to go past the thoracic spine, the rib cage. A couple more. And again, and pull that tailbone between the legs, lift one more time, tuck the tailbone and lift the tailbone, sit your butt back towards your heels and feel that stretch. Really in the glutes, of course, your toes, lift that chin, lift that chest, breathing. And then let's shift forward. Come out of our hands and then come into tall kneeling. If you're tall kneeling to half kneeling and just sit up nice and tall. I'm going to switch legs so you can see this side first. So back knee is down, get a roller, get a mat, fold, whatever it needs to be to get some length. Tall. Even just a slight shift forward in your hips, you're going to feel this stretch. Now take your front heel, my left heel, pull your heel. So your left heel is pulling back and your right hip is pulling forward. And you're going to feel quite a connection between the front and the back side of the body there. And just hold for a second. Breathing. See if you can tighten that right glute now just a little bit, that back glute. See if you can tighten the front glute, the left glute. Take the right hand overhead. Continue to maintain that tension. Big deep breath, inhale. And then exhale, release. A simple stretch for the hip flexor without a lot of motion. So again, just that tall kneeling position can change the way our body alignment is held. Breathing, feeling that stretch already in your left hip. Body's nice and tall. Pull the right heel forward. Pull the left hip, pull the right heel back. Pull the left hip forward. So you're getting that push and pull. It helps to level the pelvis. Just breathe. And then take the left arm up. Get more length for the whole front line of the body there. Reaching up, you're not really arching or anything like that, just getting long. It may seem like I'm arching, but I'm really just standing tall, shoulders over my hips, and then exhale, release. Good, go ahead and bring your right leg back again, and then sit back, rock on your hands, and come into a ball. So open up those knees, sit back, walk your hands forward, take a nice long deep breath, inhale and exhale. Just feel the body settle in between those legs. We're just shimmying a little bit, kind of giving some information to the inner thighs. Walk your hands back so the back of your arm can touch your thigh, and just let the weight of your body drop into the back of your arms. Again, you're never pushing to too much pain, not to pain, just noticing the tolerable pressure. If your body tells you that there's pain here, just back away. And then come on up. Let's drop the left knee. Right foot is on the ground, essentially flat. Keep your left hand on the ground and take your right hand up. Right knee up, left hand down, right hand up. Breathing. Right hand comes down. Now I'm going to shift so you can see me a little bit better. I'm going to use my right hand, press it into my right thigh, and take my left hand up. So my legs are in the same position. I'm just turning the other direction. Breathe. Lower the hand down. Let's switch legs. Bringing up that left foot. Bringing down the right hand. Open the leg as much as you can. So I'm kind of in a V position here. Right hand is down and left hand goes up. I know we just turned this way, but you can see how I'm not pressing against the left leg. I'm having to hold myself up and then just find the rotation in my spine here. As I exhale, lower my left hand down, put some body weight into that left side, take the right hand up, breathing, nice. And then exhale down. Take that left leg back and then sit all the way back into child's pose. Toes are pointed back, knees are wider than your hips, arms stretch out, chin in, forehead down as it's comfortable. Pull your body weight back. Breathe as to breathe underneath the shoulders. Notice your body wants to sink a little bit deeper with each breath. Fortunately, I guess there's only as deep as the ground is. Inhale, come up, walk your hands. So your left hand is toward the far right corner of your mat and then drop. So the left side of your body is in an arc. Doesn't mean your right side of your body isn't stretching. You want to still elongate out of that right arm. You just have more length to a certain degree coming out of the left arm. Breathing. Inhale, look forward. Come up just a little bit because this extension for the shoulders can be quite specific. Walk your hands over to the left corner. Right hand is lined up with the far left corner of the mat and then sink back. Breathe. This is one of my favorite stretches. Really, I get the most stretch underneath my shoulder, kind of my upper lats. down into my ribs. I can always feel this. If you push too hard, you can have some pressure where the shoulder comes together with the upper arm. So just be gentle there. And then inhale, shift up and bring yourself center. Hands underneath those knees. Let's just give a nice round cat stretch through the middle. Lift the tailbone, lift the chest, round the back, chin towards the sternum. Inhale, lift the tailbone, lift the chest. Hold here, sit your butt weight back towards your heels, and let's come into downward facing dog. Breathe, exhale, push back into that downward facing dog. Get long. Now my knees are bent, you can see that here. My neck is long. And I wanted to take that weight out of my hands, lift it up through my hips and sink it down into my legs. Inhale, bend the knees a little bit more. Begin to walk your hands back towards your feet. Head down, shin in. And just feel your body weight be carried forward. Walk your hands back up just above your knees. Now you're in half lift. Bring yourself to standing. Shoulders are back, body's nice and tall. Notice right through here, right through this midline of the body, you just did a lot of work to open up the sideways, to open up the front line of the body. Just notice if this feels more connected actually to the rest of the body. Take a couple of breaths, couple of moments, and we're going to do some single leg work. So standing on your right leg usually is more stable. Bring up your left knee and see if you can hold that left knee up into the body. Now, if you need to take off one hand for more balance or grab a chair or the wall, go ahead and do so. Lower that left knee nice and easy. Pause and let's stand on your left leg, pulling up the right, bringing that right knee up into the chest. Watch that you're not rounding over the thigh, getting nice and long. Use the floor in front of you as a focus point. Let's go back, stand on your right leg. Bring that left knee up, just hold the front of the knee. Take that right foot and then just hinge slightly. Just get that stretch right in that glute. If you can go deeper, go deeper. Great way to find that stretch into the glute, balance at the same time, and then come back up and lower your foot down. Let's go the other side, right knee up into your chest. Just hold with one hand. As you can, reach down with the other hand, and just a slight hinge as I teeter over, just a slight hinge. You can go deeper if it feels better. Maybe you actually have more balance if you let your ankle rest on your thigh. And then come back up and stand. Good. Nice job, guys. Those are challenging. Just standing on one leg. Inhale, take your arms up and overhead. Exhaling through. Let's do that 2 more times. Circle your arms up. And exhale once more. Circle your arms up. And exhale just through the center. Step your right foot just back. So I'm on my right ball of my foot. Breathing. Pull my heels towards the center line of my body. Breathing. Take up my right arm and lift my chest. Breathing. Exhale. Take that right arm. And as I can, I'm folding over my left leg. Breathing. Let the head drop, chin come up. Inhale, look forward. Bring your right foot underneath you, sweep up. Exhale, hands through, left leg steps back. So notice I'm not really taking a big step. Breathing. Take my arms up, overhead reach.
Exhale, bring my hands through. Just take my left arm up, reach up. Exhale, left hand comes down, hinge forward, breathing over my right leg. Now you can kind of increase or decrease by slightly shifting into the weight of the leg. Breathing. Let the head drop. Inhale, look forward, step your left foot forward, exhale. Inhale, sweep up. Exhaling through, let's take that right leg further back. Breathing, body's nice and tall, chest is lifted. Both arms come up, breathing. So interlace your fingers, except for your index finger and thumb, and then just keep pulling your arms up towards the sky. Breathing. And then I want you to tilt over your left leg. Breathing, come back to center, inhale, exhale, take those arms down. So you just got that beautiful stretch out of your right leg. Step forward with that right, step back with your left. Breathing, taking both arms up. Again, interlace your fingers other than your index finger and your thumb. It just creates that nice long line. When you do them all, your fingers tend to squeeze. When you do just the three of them, it tends to be a little bit more released. Tilt over your right leg. Breathing. Lengthen. Inhale, center. Exhale, circle those arms around again. Take your arms up over your head. Exhale, bring your hands back to center. Step your leg even further back if you can. Lengthen and lower. So now you're lowering that right foot down and back. Both arms come up and over your head. Reach, lift the chest up with the arms overhead. You shouldn't really be able to see your arms. Reaching back, take your hands behind you, interlace your fingers, pull the shoulders back. Make sure the heel is off the ground of the back foot. Open the chest. Exhale, fold forward over your left leg. Breathing. Release your both hands to the ground. Get low. And then inhale as you can. Right foot steps underneath you. Inhale, sweep up. Exhaling through. And left leg comes back now. Reach straight back. Get long. Open. Circle those arms up again. Lengthen. Lift that chest. Look up. Drop that back knee. Open that chest. Take your hands back. Interlace the fingers. Pull down and back and up. And then exhale. Fold forward. Release the hands back to the ground. Drop the back knee. Bring the front leg back. Back into all fours again. Toes can be pointed back or curled. You choose. Lift the tailbone, lift the chest. Exhale, sit butt back to heels. Widen out those knees. Arms stretched forward. Breathe. And just give yourself just a little bit of some ease with your breath. Look forward. And then let's drop forward into the mat. Come into that little TV watching position. Forearms are down. Lengthen. Breathing. And then let's come into the ground all together. Make a pillow out of your hands, not too close. Keep your pillow at arm's length. And so just your forehead can touch that pillow. You can tuck and tilt the pelvis here. Exhale. Breathe. Inhale, come up, back to that TV watching position. Right knee comes up. So you're kind of in the shape of an H. or a 4, lift that chest. Feel that stretch. Maybe you've never really gotten that inner thigh down to the ground. Maybe that's a lot deeper than it normally is. Great opener, great bouncer for the hips and pelvis with that knee out. And then lower down, extend that right leg. Let's bring the left knee up. So you're still on the belly, still in the figure 4 position. Lift that chest. Now you're on your left leg is behind you. Breathe. And then lower down. So we're going to do something a little different. I know we've done this before. We're going to go back to the first side. Okay, and then you're going to lift up the heel. So you're going to internally essentially rotate the thigh. I'm shifting over a little bit so I have more space, but lift that back foot up. And then drop back in and slide that right leg back. So it's an internal rotation, still with that extension of the hip, and then go to your left side, lift that knee up. Sorry, lift the heel up, the knee stays down. Just breathe and soften. And then back in. One more time, just come back to that pillow. Head down, chin in. And exhale. Take your hands underneath your shoulders, curl your toes, push yourself up and then back. Let's come into child's pose. Head down, chin in. Walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. Bring yourself up. And then let's finish actually seated. In a seated position for seated extensions. Good. Tuck my left leg is tucked under my right leg. I'm going to fold forward. Inhale and come up. Slide that right leg in. Rotate towards your right side. Inhale, center. I'm going to bring my right knee onto my left, turn over my left leg and fold across. So it's a kind of a different variation of pigeon pose. And then bring yourself back up. Bring your knees all the way up. Let's tuck the other foot in. Tuck that right foot underneath your left. I like that because it naturally lifts the legs. You're not putting so much pressure onto the back of the knee. And then fold forward over that left leg. And then bring yourself up, slide your foot in, rotate towards that left leg. Breathe to the middle of the belly, the width of the rib cage. Look center and cross your knee in. Drop into your right arm, drop into your left, rotate. Breathe. And then once again, bring yourself up. Sweep your legs so they're back up in center and roll yourself back onto the mat. Laying back on your mat. Knees can be bent, legs can be straight. Just nice, long, slow, deep breath. Give yourself that opportunity to just settle in. Soften your jaw, soften your shoulders, soften your ribs, soften your hips. Remember, where you put your hand, putting my left hand on my belly, my right hand up on my heart, creating somatic connection. My body is connected to my thoughts, to my feeling. Relax the hands. Take your right arm or left overhead, roll toward your right side. Use your top hand to press yourself up and come back to a seated position. Sitting nice and tall on your block, if you like, bring your hands out in front, get long through the crown of the head, drop the chin towards the sternum. Bring your palms to your side. Big deep breath, inhale and exhale. Thankful, grateful, connected. Inhale, take your arms up and overhead, reach. Exhale, hands down. And again, reach out wide and overhead. And then through. And be well, guys.